Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Hayson here looking at this week's property market. Now, a pretty subdued week for the property sector, it must be said. However, there's always something interesting unfolding. And this week, I want to take a look at a sale at 60 Henley Marine Drive in Rodd Point. Now, this was sold by Dan Patterson and Alex Travado. What makes this sale particularly interesting is it only sold 10 months ago for $3.251 million. Now, Dan and Alex resold this property just last week for $4 million. Now, that represents north of 23% growth in just 10 months. So despite the overall market starting to rebalance at the present time, we are still seeing a number of these sales in blue chip quality locations producing excellent results and keeping buyers on their toes. Now, this comes despite the overall clearance rate last week sitting again just below 55% from 1,175 properties that went under the hammer. Now, as we've seen over the last 3 consecutive weeks, is this increasing volume of property coming onto the market and a declining auction clearance rate. Now, I know everybody likes to live in this false reality that property prices here in Sydney always go up, but I can tell you this, when we see 3 consecutive weeks of an auction clearance rate sub 55%, we can tell you there is downward pressure on certain sectors of the property market, and some vendors need to readjust their expectations in order to secure a sale. However, another thing I like to look at from time to time is the ANZ Consumer Confidence Survey, and this has dipped into pessimistic territory in their latest survey, dropping 4.8%. Now, this is coming as no surprise as a result of the rising inflation around the globe, lifting interest rates here in Australia and around the globe, and of course the war between the Ukraine and Russia, which doesn't appear to be abating. Now, this is weighing heavily on overall consumer confidence. So looking ahead and boiling all of this down, what we have now is just 3 weeks remaining until the Easter break to close out the first selling period for 2022. And we have a very dynamic setup unfolding at the present time. We have a generally high supply of property coming into the market and available at the moment, but we've also got this more conservative and cautious buy pool moving through the market as well. But on top of that, we have this sprinkling of very strong results being achieved for blue chip, really quality assets, which is keeping buyers on their toes, and they are still producing stellar results. So how this next few weeks is going to unfold is going to be very interesting, it must be said. And that leads us into this weekend, folks, where we've got some great properties open for inspection, a really good volume of property and some great properties going under the hammer. Our entire team looks forward to seeing you out and about. Catch you all next week.